Good evening, everyone. The time is now 5 p.m. Call the July 25th, 2023 meeting of the Township Board of Supervisors to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, number 3 on our agenda is a citizen commendation for one of our residents, Zachary Coverdale. Mrs. Clear?
Yes, Zachary, would you, Coverdale, or Zach, would you want to come up here? I may not need this, but I do want to make sure that everyone at home can hear this as well. I guess before I start and read the proclamation, I want everyone here in Millcreek to know what an outstanding human being you are. When tragedy struck, Zachary did not hesitate, ran across a busy road and into a pond to save the life of a woman who was trapped in her vehicle and going to drown. As she slammed on the glass that she could not, because she could not get open her vehicle, he jumped in the water before the vehicle went into 15 feet of water and was able to pry the door open, grabbing her and taking her to safety where his father and his mother helped to make sure that she was okay. He then ran to his home to get a blanket because she was in shock. The forward thinkingness, the lack of hesitation, the bravery that you have shown is not something that we see every day, Zach. And I think that's why we really, when we found out about this from Captain Sebulak, who was here from our police department, and when we read this report, all of us were just awestruck at what you did. And we really wanted to honor you. So we have a proclamation for Zachary Coverdale. Whereas on July 4th, 2023, Zachary Coverdale demonstrated selflessness and heroism when he took action in a life-threatening situation. And whereas Mr. Coverdale heard a motor vehicle accident at the intersection of Norcross and Kohler Roads, observed a vehicle going into the pond, and recognized the injured driver who was unable to extract herself from the vehicle. And whereas Mr. Coverdale selflessly and without hesitation ran to the pond, jumped in and pulled the driver to safety, most certainly preventing additional serious injuries or even death. And whereas the willingness of Mr. Coverdale to jump into action to help a fellow individual underscores how each person plays an integral part of a successful community. Now, therefore, we, the supervisors of Millcreek Township, proclaim on behalf of the Township of Millcreek our sincere appreciation as we honor and recognize Zachary Coverdale for his life-saving action. In witness thereof, we have hereunto set the seal of the Millcreek Township, Erie County, Pennsylvania, to be affixed on this 25th day of July, 2023. And it is signed by the 3 supervisors for you. You can frame it and put it in your bedroom and hang it. Not kidding. So congratulations, Zachary. We are honored to hear. We'll pose to the camera. Congratulations, and thank you so much for what you do and knowing what to do in a time like that. So, I know you have a senior year coming up. He goes to McDowell, students, go Trojans, and so we're very excited for him. Good luck.
Congratulations,
Zachary.
Congratulations.
Good job. Great work.
Congratulations. If Zach and his family would like to stay for the next 2 hours for our meeting, you're more than welcome, or you may be excused, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's going to be hard to top. Anything else is kind of anticlimactic, so.
Just adjourn.
We could just adjourn, couldn't we? No, people have issues on the agenda here. Okay, number 4, public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning. Anyone wish to comment on anything on the agenda this evening other than development or rezoning? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to number 5, approval of the minutes from our July 11th, 2023 regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Approval of the bills. Have quite a few bills to approve here. Any questions or comments on the bills?
None here. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have public hearing on subdivision and land development plans. First one is a subdivision of land for Joseph and Barbara Brennan, a small subdivision plan. Mr. Waldinger.
Yes, thank you. This is a small subdivision plan to show the creation of a 3,000 square foot parcel from 2431 Peninsula Drive, which is to become an integral part of 2409 Peninsula Drive, creating a 3.130 acre lot with a residual lot of 0.1951 acres along the east line of Peninsula Drive, north of West 26th Street, in tracts 16 and 17. At their regular meeting of Tuesday, July 11th, the Millcreek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this subdivision with the requirement that the 3,000 square foot parcel become an integral part of 2409 Peninsula Drive.
Okay, thank you, Matt. We'll open up the public hearing now and ask anyone, if there's anyone to comment on this subdivision plan. Anybody here to speak on this? Sir, if you could come up to the podium and just, is there a sign-in sheet?
Yep.
You could just sign in there and then state your name and address just for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jim Law, L-A-W, and I'm with the Benevolent Protective Order of Elks from 2409 Peninsula Drive, Erie Lodge number 67. We are the purchaser of said property.
Okay.
And if else I'm supposed to.
This is just, you mentioned prior to the meeting that just this is to kind of square off the property for the Elks and give some
Yes.
additional.
Yes, with the erosion of the west bank of the Cascade Creek, which is a stormwater runoff to our immediate west, it has become impossible for the owner to cross over and to get to that section of property, and it's just a good timing to make this purchase, and the owner is in full agreement with the purchase.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Jim? Any other questions or comments for him?
None here.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak on this small subdivision plan? Okay,
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
you're welcome. Okay, hearing no further comments, we'll close the hearing and ask for a motion on this.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, next we have a land development plan for Laurel Hill Cemetery, Section 15. Matt?
Thank you. This is a land development plan to show the construction of a 29,185 square feet of new impervious surface for private roadways for interior circulation at the Laurel Hill Cemetery with associated stormwater management facilities located at the southeast corner of the intersection of Steratania Road and Love Road in tracts 82 and 83. At their regular meeting of Tuesday, July 11th, 2023, the Millcreek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this land development plan.
Okay, thank you, Matt. We'll open the hearing on this land development plan. And
If you'd like.
okay. That's why we're live.
Tim Pulaski with Urban Engineers. Try not to break anything else. As Matt stated, we're just developing the next section of the cemetery in accordance with the master plan for the cemetery. There's no structure other than stormwater detention and road going in.
Okay, Tim. All right. This is on the southern portion of the,
It's kind of right in the middle of
Oh,
the
okay.
whole thing. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right. Any other questions for Tim?
I don't have any.
No? Okay. Anyone else here wish to speak on this land development plan for Laurel Hill? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the hearing and ask for a motion on this.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 8 is new or amended ordinances under review. Lydia?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The longstanding one is the saldo. No new updates here, but I am coordinating a meeting with the township engineer to review the changes to the saldo. Still intending to have public input and public information sessions on that, but no action at this time.
Okay.
The other ordinance, the new item under there is a noise ordinance amendment. You may be aware that in 2017, the township, actually, on July 25th of 2017, the township adopted ordinance 2017-15, which is known as the township's noise ordinance. And this ordinance includes provisions that relate to regulating, amplified noise and sound in the township. But there are references to the zoning districts in that ordinance. And as a result of the zoning ordinance amendment in April of 2022, the zoning district designations have changed and we've added a new zoning district. So this is just simply reclassifying the zoning districts and adding the new Presque Isle district to the ordinance to indicate what the sound requirements are for if there's an enforcement matter. And that will be hopefully, we're finalizing the draft and we have reached out to the PLCB for any input from them because we do have that exemption from the LCB's noise requirements. They have no issues, but hope to have that on the agenda for the meeting on August 8th.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Resolution 2023 R30 regarding the right-to-know law and our fee schedule. Lydia?
Thank you. The Board of Supervisors previously adopted and amended a fee schedule for certain costs associated with responding to right-to-know requests received by the township. This resolution amends the prior fee schedules to conform with the current fee schedule as adopted by the Pennsylvania Office of Open Records. The Office of Open Records periodically reviews and updates their schedule, and the review was completed earlier this year, and so we're just making that change to just conform with that. These are the fees that they've determined are reasonable to be charged for reproduction, such as copying costs, postage, if we're requesting certified copies or anything on disk or thumb drive. So that's simply what this is doing, and my recommendation would be to approve the fee schedule.
Okay, thank you, Lydia. Any questions or comments on the fee schedule?
None here.
No.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2023 R30?
So moved?
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Orphan Gas Well Access Agreement. Matt?
Thank you. The township was approached by a nonprofit known as the Well Done Foundation, whose mission is to cap orphan gas wells to help the environment and the nearby residents. They had interest in the gas well on township-owned property near the Highland Park Stormwater Management Basin on West 25th Street. Through applicable DEP procedures, they have adopted the well with the township's approval, and they will be plugging said well. They do require an access agreement from the township so that they can mobilize on site and perform the activities to close the well for good. So before you right now is that access agreement, and we would recommend approval of the agreement to allow them to go in and perform their work.
How long does this work take generally?
Let me see, there may be a completion date.
Is this something we might get calls from neighbors about, or?
Potentially. I mean, it is on a vacant piece of property. Well, there is a stormwater basin on it, but there's no houses really immediate, but there are houses across the street.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a completion date on it. I thought there was, but I don't see it.
Matt, I don't believe there's any completion date, but in paragraph 7, it talks about that this, terminates in 24 months.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I do not know when the work intends to begin.
Okay. All right, just in case we get calls.
And we can, Gene Clement has been the contact with the foundation. We can ask him to find out the schedule and make sure that we're notified.
Okay.
My name is Amanda Visa, and I'm Vice President of Well Done Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Sure.
Thank you. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
If you could just state your name and address and
Yeah.
sign in so Cheryl can
Absolutely.
record it.
Yep. So my name is Amanda Visa, and I'll sign in here. I am Vice President of the Well Done Foundation. Our organization is based in Montana, but as Vice President here in the Eastern Division, I'm based out of Pittsburgh. So I have responsibility for the organization all across the East Coast of the United States. We have adopted and plugged over 25 wells around the country, and we have plugged 2 here in Pennsylvania, including 1 here in Erie County, right next to a trailer over by Bear Creek. And so we have identified this well by the stormwater basin that we wish to plug. We have formally adopted it from the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. And so what that means is that well had no viable owner or operator or responsible party. So the state was responsible for it. The foundation is adopting it, and we will be plugging it. And your question about how long the plugging will take, once the rig moves in, it should take about a week to do.
Okay.
We need to do some measurements on it first to measure the amount of methane that's coming out of the well, and that will help us with our budgeting because we will be letting our donors know how much methane is coming out, and that will help them decide, how much money they want to contribute to our campaign. We are completely accessible, and I plan to be up here, on a monthly basis to look after that well, and Matt has my contact information. And since I am in Pittsburgh, I'm only 2 hours away, so if somebody ever wants to meet me out in the field and learn more about the organization, I'm more than happy to come up.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
May I ask a quick question, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
How do you become notified of orphaned wells or wells that may be putting methane into the atmosphere?
That's a very good question. So we look at a couple of different factors. Number one, we look at the State Department of Environmental Protection's database. The other way is we get questions and concerns from landowners themselves. And so we serve as a resource to landowners. If they encounter something that doesn't look quite right, we will go out and take a look and determine whether or not it's a gas well or not. Additionally, we'll work with local utilities such as National Fuel, just to see if if it's more gas line related versus gas well related. Yep,
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
absolutely, my pleasure.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the gas well access agreement as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Thank you.
Next, we have a conditional letter of map revision, FEMA fee. Matt? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for the Wilkins Run pollutant reduction plan that the township is undertaking to meet its MS4 requirements. This project requires submittal to FEMA of a conditional letter of map revision known as a CLOMAR with an associated fee of $6,500. A check does need to be made payable to the National Flood Insurance Program and be provided to our design consultant, CEC, so they can submit the CLOMAR package to FEMA. So it is the recommendation that this fee of $6,500 be provided so that this process can continue.
Okay, thank you. Matt? Is there a motion to approve the $6,500 fee for the CLOMAR map revision?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 12, National Testing Network Agreement. Chief Cliff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you is an agreement between the National Testing Network and Millcreek Township. The purpose of this agreement is Millcreek Township has started the process to look for staffed firefighters. Currently, we're looking at 9 full-time firefighters and around possibly 30 part-time firefighters. This testing service will be testing that will be done for these firefighters in the hiring process. We'll be doing an initial in-person test, and then we'll be having open opportunities for people to go on to the National Testing website to take the test for developing a ongoing recruitment and strategy for these firefighters. The costs associated is $500 per year per job classification, and there are additional costs associated per test fees, but those will be borne by the applicants. They'll be paying those fees directly to National Testing. And then the initial test that we have in person, those fees will be paid to the township to cover the costs of the fees for the testing on the day of the test.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chief. Any questions or comments on this membership fee with NTN?
None here.
None here.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
And second.
Call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a financial security release request. Matt?
Thank you. This is for the land development, the John P. Abate land development plan on Powell Avenue. The developer, John P. Abate, has completed all required public improvements for his land development and is requesting the financial security be released in its entirety. Before you is a form signed by Township Engineer Rob Rodermoyer stating that everything has been completed to the township's satisfaction. And so it is the recommendation that we release the letter of security that was provided by Marquette Savings Bank, check number 504, in the amount of $1,000, and that should be released back to Mr. Abate.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Is there a motion to approve this financial security release?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Communications, Mark?
Yes. Currently, prostate-specific antigen, PSA testing, is not covered as a preventative service under our health plans. Because the township self-funds its health insurance, additional services can be added as so desired. PSA testing tends to be a helpful tool in identifying prostate cancer, hence having the screening may result in lower costs down the road through prevention of further expenses relative to cancer treatments. It's my recommendation that the board approve the change and add this service to our preventative services on our health plans.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Any questions on this request?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, thank you,
And I
Dan.
will second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I just wanted to ask a quick question. I think I know the answer, but the cost on this, Treasurer Syshewski, was very minimal, is that correct?
Yes.
It's like minuscule.
It's no more than $150 for the test, and that, I don't even know if that's the contracted price. To be honest with you, I've had this test for years and years, and I don't even know if I've ever paid for it, to be honest with you. So,
Okay.
it's certainly not costing anybody too much money.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you very much.
And it's certainly cheaper than cancer treatment.
I was just going to say, yes, and that outweighs it all, so, yeah. Great,
All right,
thanks.
very good. Next, we have a hiring request from Jessica Stutzman, Millfair Compost Center, a new hire for a heavy equipment operator. She is requesting Daniel Lawrence at a rate of $18 an hour starting July 31st. Daniel has worked as a heavy equipment operator, excavator operator, loader operator for over 10 years with the International Union of Operating Engineers Local 66, also XL Excavating, and the Fort Knox Gold Mine in Alaska. Prior to that, Daniel served in the United States Army from 1998 to 2022 as a nuclear, biological, and chemical specialist maintaining equipment and personal protective gear. Daniel has a Class B CDL license and 3 years of education and experience in mechanical maintenance. I believe this is the request that was tabled last time, just pending some further information to be obtained, and it appears that was obtained, and I'll make a motion to approve the hiring of Daniel Lawrence at $18 an hour.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, next we have a request from Diane Lyons, a new hire for police dispatch. Kim, you want to take that one?
Sure. The recommendation is for Laura Dietz for police dispatcher. Start date of August 7th, 2023. Laura currently works as a dispatcher for Altair Real Estate Services and was previously a police dispatcher for Meadville City Police Department. She has a bachelor's degree in fine arts and an art education from Edinburgh University. So it is the recommendation of the Administration Department, Diane Lyons, to hire Laura Dietz.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. And we have a similar request for a dispatcher, for a part-time dispatcher.
Yes, this would be part-time. The name is Julie Hager. Position police dispatcher, part-time. The start date would be August 5th, 2023. And Julie currently works as a records clerk for the City of Erie. And she was previously a probation and parole administrative assistant for the County of Erie. So I'll make a recommendation for the hiring of Julie Hager.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dan. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, we have a training request for the police department. Captain Sebulak?
Yes, it's Chief Smoke is asking for approval to send myself to a local training course titled Sports and Special Events Incident Management. It's his recommendation that this course is free and is being held at the Erie County 911 Center from November 8th through 9th of this year. This course will provide me with additional knowledge and tools in my role as a Patrol Division Commander, and also I'm in charge of several special events in the township, such as the 4th of July Parade.
Okay. Thank you, Captain. Is there a motion to approve this local training course as presented?
Yes, I will make a motion to approve Captain Sebulak to attend this training.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes.
I'll make sure we schedule many more events for you to oversee too, Captain. You're welcome.
Next, we have a Beast on the Bay request. Matt, can you shed any light on this, or Kim, can you? It came from Shallon, from Emergency Management. It looks similar to the to the 4th of July parade request, kind of?
I mean, I can cover it with what I have here if you'd like.
Go ahead.
Yep, PennDOT is requesting that a letter be sent from the Millcreek Township Board of Supervisors along with a special event permit. This would be for Barber Institute to close Route 832. I believe it's just one lane of 832 for the Beast on the Bay. Let me see, sorry, I'm stumbling through here.
No, I could have done more stumbling than you.
That's fine. I'm not sure of the date of the Beast on the Bay. Doesn't seem to be in this information.
17th
17th of September?
of,
This is September.
It's definitely in
Sorry, I forgot.
September.
September 8th.
It looks like they have filed their special event permit. Do you get a copy of that, Captain?
Yes, I did.
Have you received this one yet, or?
I've gotten a notification that there's the permits.
Okay, okay. So I guess this is, they just want us to acknowledge that they've submitted a permit and that we are going to be approving a letter be sent regarding the lane closure?
Yes, it would be a letter. They're looking to close a half mile of the right southbound lane of 832. It would be from the park entrance to the Waldemere Peninsula Drive entrance. They'd like one lane closed.
And I think we've provided a letter in the past.
I believe so, because PennDOT does require
Yeah.
it with their
Okay,
And the date would be September 9th, 2023.
September 9th.
teamwork.
We got this.
Okay, is there a motion to authorize a letter be sent to PennDOT?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for the letter to be sent to PennDOT.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, next up is the executive sessions held on July 13th and July 18th.
Mr. Chairman, correction, on the
Yeah.
paper I gave you, it says it's the 18th. It was actually the 19th. So I know a demerit.
All right. 13th and 19th. 13th, discuss real estate matters related right-of-way easements, orphan gas well, and parks and rec facilities, and then also litigation related to right-to-knows, orphans court petition, and state lawsuits. On the 19th, real estate related to right-of-way easements, floodplain map issues, and parks and rec facilities, and litigation related to right-to-knows, zoning hearing board appeals, orphans court petition, and state and federal court lawsuits. Solicitor communications, anything further?
Nothing from me.
Okay. Citizens to be heard. Any citizens wish to be heard this evening? Okay. Adjournment. Is there a motion
Mr.
to adjourn?
Chairman?
Oh, you.
Before, yeah, I would just like to make a comment. It's been brought to our attention, or my attention, that some of our employees are being named online, and they are being, by I don't know if they're residents or not, but they are being cyberbullied online, accusing them of doing things that are, falsely accusing them of doing and saying things. And I guess I just would like to make a comment that our employees, almost 200 employees, are some of the best employees out there. They work hard, and they are doing their job, and they deserve to be respected. I would just like it to be said that it is very, very disrespectful to be naming our employees online when they are doing their job. And it's one thing to make up things about elected officials. It's something else when you're doing it to our employees. And I don't tolerate such behavior. So I just wanted to make sure that I said that out loud. I defend our employees, and they are doing their job, and they do it darn well.
Okay. Well said.
Well said, Mrs. Clear.
All right. Anything further for the good of the order?
No, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. We are adjourned at 5:34 p.m. Thank you, everyone.